Pablo.
Hey, hi everyone. Okay, hey, good evening everyone.
Thank you. Gracias.
My name's Chanel Riley and this is Pablo Berger, writer, director, producer.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming. You know, Janelle, the favorite thing for a director is to see a cinema full of people,
Yeah.
big screen, because sometimes people see the films in the small screen, and we decided for see it in the cinema and to share the experience, you know. And I think you have to have the little ceremonies. You know, I love it to meet you and to see you here.
It looks beautiful and it
Wow.
sounds amazing in here, and the sound is so
Yeah.
important to the movie. That makes me very happy.
Yes.
I just want to start by asking, do you enjoy making people cry? Is that
I enjoy crying myself.
I do too.
You know, I think crying is just, it cleans your pipes. It just kind of like resets. I think it's happy cry.
Okay.
You know, I don't think it's sad cry. I think it's a happy cry.
Yeah.
You know.
I am curious because I was surprised to learn that this is your first animated feature. I'm familiar with your 3 other films, and it
Yes.
didn't even occur to me that you hadn't dabbled in animation before.
No, up to now I've been a live action director.
Mhm.
This is my 4th film, and not even once in my life I thought I was going to make a live animated feature. And it was just the story. I fell in love with the graphic novel with the same name by Sara Varon. I read it like in almost 14 years ago.
Wow.
But when the first time I read it, I just loved it because I collect wordless graphic novels, and you know, I made 2 more films, Blancanieves and Abracadabra. And in 2018, I read it again, but I was just procrastinating. You know, as a director between films, I was like, I don't know what to do, and just got it. I read it, but she made me cry.
Yeah.
The graphic novel, she really did. But I didn't cry the first time I read it or before, and it was just because this time, in those 8 years that happened from the first, I had lost people in the way, people that I really, really love, or one of my friends stopped being my best friend, and there's so many substitutions I did that I did substitutions. I don't know if some people of you, while you were watching the film, you made substitutions.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and I cry, and I said, if I cry so hard, but not a bad cry, a good cry, I said like, what if I adapt this film to animation, and if I had to be New York populated by anthropomorphic animals, I do it on animation, or it had look like cats. You know?
Thank you
You
for
know,
that.
and I thought it was not a good idea to do like cats.
Always a good instinct. It's interesting to me because Blancanieves, I know, is sort of based on the legend of Snow White. I think your 3rd movie, but is this your first like kind of straight up adaptation?
Yes.
Oh wow. What was that process like? Sometimes I know people like having something to draw from, but other times it can be so hard.
Yes, because I did a film called Blancanieves that was, we say, inspired Snow White, because it just had the main characters, and it had a stepmother, and it didn't have a prince, but well, it had an apple, but definitely it was bullfighting, where it was, I won the best original script in the Goya, so it was not considered an adaptation.
I didn't think
It
so.
was more like a metalinguistics, but here it was an adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky that Sara Varon, the author, I met with her in 2018 in New York, and I told her I would like to collaborate with you. I didn't tell her what, and then when I met her in person, I said I want to make a hand-drawn version of your novel, and she was like, wow. And then she had seen Blancanieves.
Oh really?
Which is wordless too.
Yes.
I'm gonna
It's
do
so good.
some
You'll
product
find it.
placement, Blancanieves. I think it's available in some platforms. And she had seen it, and she said, okay. She gave me carte blanche. She said, I made the graphic novel. Now you're going to translate it to the media. So she was not involved in any process. So
Wow.
yes, when the script, when it was finished, I sent it to her, and she loved it. She came to Spain to visit the studio,
Oh.
the animation studio, and she was at the premiere in Toronto, and of course she's coming to the Oscars.
Yes,
She's
that's
coming
right, the
to
Academy Award
ceremony. Yes,
nominee.
you're nominated for the Oscars. Wow!
And
Thank you.
I should
I'm so
mention,
excited. You cannot imagine. I'm like, I'm taking, this is like, I feel I'm in a roller coaster ride. I'm here in Burbank, you know,
Yeah.
it's like cinema was started here, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited.
Well, I should also mention you won 2 Goya Awards, including Best Screenplay, which I
Yes.
love that, because people might say, like, but there's no dialogue. And I'm like, that's not what a screenplay is.
That's right. You know, it takes time to some people that they really are not in the business, or even some people in the business, they think that when you make a wordless film, you don't need script. They think it's just like, and the reality, and I'm sure there's so many people, we're in LA, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there are many people in the business here, you know that the story, the script, the story is the cake, and the dialogue is the whipped cream, you know. Well, of course we like whipped cream, there's good dialogue is important, but the story and the characters and what is, and so yeah, there's a screenplay, and we won the Goyas, is the Spanish Oscars, and
Against, like, Society of the Snow and
Society
some
of
other,
the-
yeah.
Bayona is a good friend of mine, you know. The year of Blancanieves,
Yeah.
you know, we were also competing.
Oh,
you know.
really? What did he
But
have?
He had
Monster Calls?
Impossible.
Oh, no, I love that movie.
Impossible, yeah. But we won everything. But that he knows, you know, that year I won Best Film and everything. But this time he was the favorite, Society of the Snow, and he was winning everything.
Everything.
Everything. Another one, and another one, and another one. I don't know how many. He won like 12, and suddenly they said he was the favorite for the Best Adapted Screenplay. And I won. Only one he didn't win, and that was the script. And I feel a writer director, and the reason of making this film was because the story. So
Yeah.
I really think the stories can be so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if you make live action, you make animated, you make a documentary. I truly believe in the power of storytelling.
And forgive me for not knowing the graphic novel, but I'm assuming you made the choice to set it in New York City in the 80s?
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Yes, the graphic novel. Have somebody here know the graphic novel, Robot Dreams? Maybe someone? Yeah, I see one hand, two hands. Yeah, it was a popular graphic novel when it was still they publish it, and it takes place in American City. You can recognize by the trash cans and little details, but it's nondescript. But I want to take an opportunity here to introduce my partner, associate producer, music editor, collaborator, and my life partner, Yuko Haramik is here.
Stand up,
Please
stand
stand
up.
up. Yuko.
Come on.
Yes.
You're made for the pound.
Thank you. So we lived 10 years in New York, and when I told her, you know, I have this idea, this project, and I think I can make the protagonist New York as well. So the protagonist of this film is truly Robot Dog and New York, and that was not in the graphic novel. And that was one of the big reasons of making this film, because we really love our life in New York, and we really wanted to capture the spirit and the audience that were not in New York in the 80s, or they had a chance to kind of travel in time. Because I really think that cinema is like a time machine, you know, and I really like that idea that you go to another place, another time, and we wanted to capture and be very careful that every single detail was right. And I have to tell you also, we just came from New York. When did we arrive? I think yesterday. I don't even know where I am. In Spain, New York.
Today
But
is
we were in New York.
Thursday.
Yeah, we were yesterday in New York. We at Film Forum, is an art house, great cinema in New York, and we had a Q&A, and it was so emotional for me. I really got, because I was in New York, and I was introducing the film to the New Yorkers, and they approved the film. They said, we got it right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, this Spaniard and a Japanese, we got it right.
Because there is no dialogue, music and sound obviously play such a crucial role here. How did you sort of go about creating or recreating the soundscapes of the city?
Well, definitely that was another issue, because the period film, you always think it's about, you know, the background
Visuals, yeah.
or the wardrobe, but it was, in this case, New York has a distinctive sound, you know.
And smell.
And a smell, yeah. We should make an odorama version, like John Ward. I would love to make an odorama with Robert. Neon is here, so
Yeah.
Neon
Get
the
on that.
distributor. We should make one odorama version with numbers. Yes. So another thing about New York is the noise. We were always more noise, it's a noisy city, and with different types of sirens. There could be a ambulance, got the police coming, but they were different in the 80s. So,
Yeah.
and the cars are very different now than the 80s. So we really had to create this sound, what New York sound like. And although some people, when they read about the film, they think it's a silent, it's not a silent film, it's a non-verbal film, wordless film, but the sound design is the most complex I ever done. I had a great team of sound designers and working, because we wanted to create experience. Even though we wanted to feel the breathing, the presence, the smile, the laughing, but we didn't want them to talk.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep the spirit of the graphic novel.
Well, and also dogs can't talk.
We
Yeah.
all know that.
They wear swim trunks, but they can't
Yes.
talk.
Yeah, and they're embarrassed too. I think my favorite, one of my favorite scenes is like him with the swimming suit. He takes out the swimming suit like I used to do, like very careful.
Yeah. Puts on clothes to go into the beach. I love it. Speaking of amazing sequences, I want to talk about the beautiful sequence set to Earth, Wind, and Fire's September. What sort of came first? The song, the idea? How did that develop?
Well, the thing is that the song September appeared in the first draft of the script. It truly was like, I think it was when it was even like a treatment, because the story takes from September to September. So you didn't have to be a genius, but I am a genius. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. But I thought if they go to roller dance to Central Park, we needed, of course, funky disco kind of song. And suddenly, September, okay. And then we realized that it would be great if that becomes the theme. Initially, it was just going to be for that scene, but then we realized they need a theme, and then we found different versions with the piano. He was whistling homages to the song, and then it became like the theme, because I think we all have a song that we connect with, a loved one, a friend. So it was important that they have a song. And the amazing thing is that at that moment when we decided the song, we didn't realize until later on that in the first line of the lyrics of the song is the theme, or one of the main themes of the film is like, do you remember the 21st night of September? Do you remember? And definitely was like, wow, it had to be this song. We were so happy. The producers were not very happy. You should know that, the music rights are expensive.
Yeah.
And every time you play a song, ta-chang, ta-chang, and appears many times. Doesn't matter if they whistle, if it's three, it's just like, but it was worth it, because they realized we were able to put it in the budget, but it really is a key part of the film. Come on, it's just the final scene, what it means the September, and now you don't only have to connect September with weddings. You can connect it with Robot Dreams, and could be a sad song too.
Yeah.
Not only a happy song.
What for someone who hadn't done animation before, where did you even know to look for animators?
Well, that was the most difficult thing of the process, honestly, because initially, the project was going to be produced by one of the best animation studios in Europe, that is called Cartoon Salon. Maybe some of you know, The Book of Kells, Bob Walker, The Breadwinners. It's just a great, My Father's Dragon. So they loved the project. We went to Kilkenny in Ireland. We met with them. All the deals were coming together. My wife and my daughter are here. I told them we are moving to Ireland for 2 years, and we were all excited. I even bought a coat. Honestly, I had a coat on sale. Really, I'm not lying. And then suddenly, what happened to everybody in the world, the pandemic. And suddenly, I had this image of me, honestly, with the Oscar nomination. Because every film Cartoon Salon does, they get an Oscar nomination, always. So I said, I have to do it very bad not to get the Oscar nomination. So I got it finally, but in a different way. So basically, Cartoon Salon gets out of the picture, and suddenly you have the producers and me. We have the money to make the film. We have a project, but we don't have animation studio. And we're in the middle of the pandemic, and it's like, okay, there was 2 ways: kill ourselves, and we decided to, or to do like Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland. Let's put a show. Okay, the show must go on, and we created animation studio, pop-up animation studio, just to make the film. We open and we close. we, you know the movie, of course, Sting, Paul
yes.
Newman. You know, you can find some similarity with me and Paul Newman, and Robert Redford, and we created like the Sting. With the sound instead of the ta da 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 ta da ta da, it was the music of "Do you remember?" And we are buying computers, getting animators all over Europe, and that was hell. I sound like funny, but it was like, yeah, it was really the most difficult thing about this film is to. I'm sure there are people in animation. We're in Burbank. There are animators here for sure. So we had to create a pipeline and software and find it, and that was, and this when we started the film, it was like. We're never gonna finish.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a disaster. I was like very, a director never shows that it's gonna be a disaster. But inside of me, I felt it was gonna be a disaster. I was smiling. This is going great. Thank you guys. Let's continue. But I was, oh my God, this is gonna be my last film. But after that, we were lucky that director of animation, because although it says a film by Pablo Berger doesn't know how to draw, so it's just one person cannot make a film like this. So there was a big team, but there are key players in the film. And the director of animation, Benoit Ferramont, he worked with Sylvain Chomet in The Trippers of Belleville. He worked in The Book of Kells with Tom Moore. So he came to Spain for 2 years just to help us to find animators and set up. And then the art director, José Luis Agreda, he made an amazing job. He just came from making a film called Buñuel en el laberinto de las tortugas. I don't know the title in English, in the Turtles Labyrinth. It's a 2D animation film. So I had really good team, and we made it.
Wow.
And 5 years later, we're here.
That's amazing. And are you sure you don't want to keep this animation studio going? I think maybe.
Yes. The thing is that I'm a spoiled director, my producer. I made 3 films with them, and we didn't have another project. I'm too slow, and there was no. So we created. We bought the computers, we bought everything, and then we had to sell the computers, and the animators went back home, and it was sad because it was like a pop-up studio, But I'm gonna make more animated.
Good.
Animated film. Yeah. I love them. Yeah, they're truly, and here. I want to share, what Guillermo del Toro is saying, and how powerful is the animation, and how he's gonna. Of course, Guillermo always wanted to be an animation director. He started in animation, although his career took him to live action. But after Pinocchio, he's gonna make more. So I feel like it opened, my mind in different as a storyteller, because I can write a script that I can only do with animation. And I never thought, because this film, with the budget, this is for a European film, it was a good budget. But with this budget, if I did live action, I couldn't have had thousands and thousands of tap dancers, the Pablo Berger homage. Or I couldn't have done like a race with a sledge, kind of like James Bond, Ben-Hur thing. It was impossible with the budget, but I could do crazy things, and or like getting out of the screen, like breaking the fourth. I don't know. It opened my mind to new ways of telling the stories.
Also, dog actors are really hard to work with. You've seen Anatomy of a Fall?
Yeah, he seems so
Diva.
Yes. And he seems so nice, but he was very difficult.
Was he?
Yeah.
I'm curious if
they
you
didn't get along
dogs.
at all. You see all the chemistry? They didn't have at all. No. We love Robot and Dog.
Yeah.
I love Robot and Dog. I don't know. Our heart is with them, and with all the other characters. I love Rascal. He's more like me, more mature.
Yeah.
And Dog is me when I was very young. And Robot, he's just perfect.
Yeah.
He's just like such a good heart, such a generosity.
There are mannerisms of dog, though, that I recognize in dogs. So I don't know if you studied them or you had.
Well, a little, definitely. I had dogs, and definitely we wanted that they have just some little traits of little things about dog, and I have to say also that the author Sara Varon, she loves dogs more than anything. She has tattoos of her dogs in her body. The reason her new graphic novel is about a detective, it's a dog. that she's going to publish in first, second books soon. But the origin, this is for her first graphic novel, had to do with she had a dog that she loved so much, but the dog got sick, had to take it to the vet, and the vet said, we have to put it to sleep, you have to sacrifice the dog. And that moment for her was devastating.
Yeah.
And she said, she felt that when she told the vet, okay, she abandoned. She kind of like, and this book, it was like to overcome that pain. She created this story, which is, so Sara Varon is dog,
Yeah.
and her dog is robot.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, that's the origin of the story, so she told me.
It's such a beautiful film. I'm so excited. It's going to be coming out. I thought in May, but is that technically summer? June in LA.
Yes.
Please spread the word. It's such a special film, and good luck on Sunday. We're
Yes.
rooting for you. Thank you all so much for being a great audience.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Only one thing, I really like, if you like the film, you're officially ambassadors of Robot Dreams, so, and if you didn't like it, please tell all your enemies to go and see it. Okay? Thank you very much for coming. A pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias.